Okay, welcome to JB Cycles Part 2 on May the 21st. So I've been studying these bear markets going back in time. Last week I showed you a possible 28-year cycle, and that we possibly have topped out this current 28-year cycle, and so if that's the case, we could see hard landings. We saw that in the year 2000, 2008, and if we go back to the previous cycle, we have 1968, 69, and around 1973. And these bear markets have some similarities. I would also mention the equilibrium point of a cycle is typically the average of the cycle length. So if you have a 4-week cycle, that's about 20 trading days, and then you can, in a bullish phase, you will buy a dip to the 20 MA. If you break the 20 MA, maybe you have a market oscillation of 2 of these monthly cycles, and then you could look for a pullback down to the 40 or 50 MA. And you have the 40-week cycle, that's about 200 trading days. So in a bullish phase in the market, you could have some larger corrections going down to the 200 MA. But if you break that one, it could be a sign of a larger degree correction. And when we have the 3.5-year cycle, that's 42 months. So in the bullish phase of the 28-year cycle, you typically get bear markets down to the 42-month moving average. But if we are now at the top of this larger cycle, we typically see hard landings where we break below the 42-month moving average. So down here in green I have the 3.5-year moving average, and that's the typical target, the first target we should be looking for. And we have now gotten confirmations that this is a bear market, so we should expect the S&P to get down to this level. So what's the anatomy of a bear market? Well, I'm not going to show you all the examples going back, but just summing up, I typically see 4 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and sometimes a 5th. And if we look at the first wave, here in red I have a homemade momentum indicator. So this is the first wave. The momentum made a low. What we typically see is that the second wave extends or doubles this downside, and as you see, we are far away from this target, and actually this target is right at this moving average. But sometimes we do not extend this 100%, so here I have some Fibonacci levels. Sometimes we go down to the 75% Fibonacci, around there, I don't know, 76, 78, I don't remember, and sometimes only to this 62%. So I have drawn some targets here. We could crash down very quickly the coming couple of weeks to reach this target, or perhaps make some kind of a bigger bounce, bear flag, and reach this target a bit later. Actually, we were just right at the edge of this target on Friday, around 3,800, but we need to see a close at this target level before we can trust this as a possible longer-term low. So if and when we reach this target at this second wave, let me point out another thing. What we typically see in these bear markets is that this momentum indicator makes a lower low on this second wave. And here I have simulated the momentum with just this flat level in the coming weeks, and in this case we see momentum is not making a lower low. So I do expect, if I'm correct about the overall situation, we should see the S&P going lower to make a lower low in momentum here. But exactly how? Will it happen quickly? Will we make a bigger bear flag here, a bigger bounce? I don't know. But when this is reached, we typically should look for a bigger rally going up near the 200-day moving average. Here I had drawn a rough indication of where that will be, and it will typically be backtesting this support from the first wave, so around 4,200-ish, around there. But then we should turn down with a very bearish wave in the fall, and possibly or probably another, maybe even more bearish. This is often the capitulation wave, the fourth one. So that one could be in the winter or fall next year. And we could have the fifth one, which is then called the bottom formation. If you have a deep capitulation, we need some time to make a low. Yeah, I think I covered it all there. Typically this low is around 5 months from the top, and that will be early June. It can be 6 or almost 7 months, but I think that, yeah, it could be 6. That would be early July. So sometime here, June, July, we should make this low around 3,600, a bigger bounce and crashing down. Okay, hope this was helpful, and see you in the next one.